Hello, Cedar Crest College, and everyone else out there. This is Cindy Rodriguez, and you are listening to the X Chromozone radio show at Cedar Crest College. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I totally stole that from John Oliver. All right, so first, before I forget, the weekly disclaimer. You are listening to Cindy Rodriguez on Cedar Crest College Radio, Cedar Crest College campus radio station. Any opinions expressed on this show reflect those of the DJ and are not necessarily those of the station. Okay, so that's that. Disclaimer number 2 and 3. This is from me. This program may contain adult content and adult language. Some of it from yours truly, but mostly from the music. I play unedited versions of everything. No censorship here on the X Chromosome radio show. And disclaimer number 3, the show may possibly go a little over time. I won't keep you guys here all night. Not that that wouldn't be fun, but I always put that out there. But I'm usually pretty good with the timing. And now, actually, because of the current events, I would like to say this. I would like to have a moment of silence for the 11 victims of the Tree of Life Synagogue and the 2 African-American shoppers at the Kentucky grocery store who were viciously gunned down this weekend. If we can have a moment of silence. Okay, apparently they were all targets, unfortunately, of hate crimes. All that combined with the pipe bomber incident this past week. Yep, this past week has certainly been a new low point in our country. Hate has become mainstream, ladies and gentlemen. We need to stop the insanity. And I am angry, I admit it. I am very angry. But part of me is also tired of being angry. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, we must learn to live together as brothers and sisters or perish together as fools. And now I want to give a shout out to all the ladies on campus and off campus for all your hard work today for a nice event we had at Trunk or Treat. So happy Trunk or Treat to you all. And I just wanted to put that out there. Kudos to you ladies. And now for announcements. I actually have announcements this week. I usually don't have any announcements. And a little news. Announcement number 1. The official naming of my misogynist sound bites. The poll I conducted online was not as effective as I had hoped. But I decided to name the soundbite segment of the show when I have that. I decided to call it Name That Misogynist, so now it's official. So I'll be doing that again at some point. Okay, so announcement number 2. My November episode lineup starting next Sunday, this coming Sunday, November 4th. We will be discussing women in art. Sunday, November 11th will be women's health. And Sunday the 18th will be an episode on the Black Lives Matter movement. And Sunday the 25th, we'll have an episode on body image, ladies. Body image, I will be focusing on specifically fat shaming and also a little bit on skinny shaming because, yes, that does also exist. Of course, it's not as prevalent as the fat shaming, but I do want to touch on that because I'm trying to be inclusive. Okay, and finally, announcement number 3. In the month of November, I'm finally going to have some guests on my show. Yay! I'm going to have some very important, very cool guests. I'm just happy I made it to episode number 4. I've been doing this for about a month now. I can't believe it's gone that quickly. So, just a little preview on my guests coming up on the show. This coming Sunday, November 4th, I'm going to have a very special guest, Lehigh Valley's own master oil painter of the Monterey Gallery in Allentown, Ms. Anne Elizabeth Schlegel will be joining me next Sunday for the episode on women in art. That's going to be a fun episode. We're going to talk about the history of that. A lot of the influential women artists that we've been blessed to have throughout history and in art. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to learn about Ms. Schlegel. So that's going to be fun. And on Sunday, November 11th, for my Women and Health episode, I am very excited to have Dr. Lori Alphonse, General Surgeon Extraordinaire of the Lehigh Valley Hospital Network. We will be discussing women's health issues because I think we need to have more of that discussion. So a lot of great stuff coming up. I plan on having some of the most powerful, influential, and fabulous women on my show. So there you go. A couple of very distinguished guests are coming up on the X Chromozone radio show. So there you go. And now in news, I wanted to share with you guys from a little bit about this week. This past Tuesday, on October 23rd, I was very happy to join a very, very important luncheon. It was called the Outfit to Empower Luncheon, called the Perfect Fit for Working Women. That was hosted by the YWCA right here in Allentown. They've been around for quite some time. YWCA Allentown has served women and girls in Allentown and the surrounding community since its founding in 1898. Yes, they've been around a long time helping women, and I felt very honored to be in the presence of about, I think it was about 200 women. Like I said, the most influential women in the Lehigh Valley. Met a lot of fabulous ladies there, made some connections, and I was sitting having lunch with the president of Cedar Crest College, Dr. Elizabeth Mead. So it was pretty awesome. So that was this past week representing SAGE students, meaning the non-traditional older students right here at Cedar Crest College. I was very happy to be involved in that. I'll be talking more about that program, and most likely we'll have a representative from the YWCA as a guest in a future episode. So look out for that. I will be posting and announcing that when that happens. Okay, and now to get to the nitty-gritty for tonight, what we're going to be talking about. Today, for the topic of the week, topic of the day, the week, the night, this week, we are going to talk about relationships. The first of my relationship series, part 1, breakups. Boo. Yes. Now, and especially for all you ladies going out there dealing with that right now, trust me, I have been there more times than I care to admit. I mean, of course, it kind of sucks for both sides, but let's face it, people, relationships, the breakups suck. Whether you are going through younger, teenage, going through the whole puppy love stage to when you're married with children and you've been in a relationship for a long time and everything in between. And I'm talking straight, gay, whatever. This is for everybody. For everybody, it's always difficult. And yeah, in a nutshell, it sucks. You know, when you are involved with someone and you care about them and have, you know, this connection and you love them very much, and then it ends and you're heartbroken and you feel like you're going to die. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and you almost feel it. Well, I do anyway. You feel it physically. It makes you physically ill. I've been through all that. So this episode tonight is especially dedicated for all you ladies out there currently going through that. You know, I feel you. I understand. Trust me. So what I'm going to do tonight is frame my episode around an article that was put out by Psychology Today, and it's called The Top 10 Reasons for Relationship Breakups. And it says, if any of these bad habits show up in your love life, it's time to make a change. And now I'll be going through the list, not necessarily in order in that order, but we'll be getting into that in a little bit. But first, we are going to bring out our first song. And I have to say hello because it is my show. To my ex that just got married a couple weeks ago. Congratulations to you both. Mazel tov.
I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I wish nothing but the best for you both. I know the version of me, is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater? Does she speak eloquently? And would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make a really excellent
That was Alanis Nadine Morissette. Yes, Canadian-American singer, songwriter, producer, and actress. As I like to call her, the Queen of Angst. Yes. Fun facts about Alanis Morissette. Well, one not so fun fact, I guess. In her teen years until her 20s, she suffered from depression and a variety of various eating disorders. Now, of course, teen years to 20s, who didn't? Unfortunately, a lot of us have gone through that. She recovered from that. She started eating a healthier diet, taking care of herself. 2009, she ran a marathon promoting awareness for the National Eating Disorders Association. So, and we are going to be talking about that in future episodes. Eating disorders and as well as self-mutilation. So we will be tackling those issues as well. Also, probably my most favorite fun fact about Alanis Morissette is that she played it was like for a minute, she came out in one of my favorite movies of all time by my favorite director, Kevin Smith, 1999's Dogma. She played God because it's Alanis Morissette. So, hey, yeah, why not? She was God. If you haven't seen that, it's must see. All right. So next, we're going to start on this list with the last one on the list of Psychology Today on why breakups happen. One big one, I feel, is communication, not communicating. What we got here is a failure to communicate. In a relationship, silence is never golden. The more you talk, the better you will feel. I've been saying that forever. Communication is the single most important thing in a relationship, bar none. If you do not have a good communication, you cannot have a good relationship. Plain and simple. And so sit down, have a cup of coffee, talk, and use your words. Use your big girl words and not just the bad words. Alrighty then. And now, a message from George Costanza.
I'm sorry, George.
But I don't understand. Things were going so great. What happened? Something must have happened.
It's not you. It's me.
You're giving me the it's not you, it's me routine? I invented it's not you, it's me. Nobody tells me it's them, not me. If it's anybody, it's me.
All right. George, it's you.
You're damn right it's me.
Look, I was just trying to,
I know what you were trying to do. Nobody does it better than me.
Well, I'm sure you do it very well.
Yes, well, unfortunately, you'll never get the chance to find out. But I thought...
Always knew I'd end up your ex-girlfriend. I hope I hold a special place with the rest of them.
but I should have thought of that before we kissed. I kinda always knew I didn't know your ex-girlfriend. Whoa, kinda always knew I didn't know your ex-girlfriend. Don't hold a special place with the rest of them. Kinda always knew I didn't know your ex-girlfriend on your list, but I should have thought of that before we kissed. I'm another ex-girlfriend on your list. You should have thought of that before we kissed.
There you go. That was Gwen Renee Stefani, American singer, songwriter, and actress, formerly of No Doubt, the band. Kick-ass girl, yes. She is also a philanthropist. Yes, Gwen Stefani once gave $1 million to the Save the Children Foundation for when the one earthquake, tsunami they had in Japan. Pretty cool. Yep, how you like them apples? All right, so next, on the list of what happens, top 10 reasons for relationship breakups. Now I'm just going to combine right here. I'm going to combine number 8, number 7, and number 2 from the list together. One is what happens that causes breakups: stealing, lying, and cheating. Duh. Do I really need to talk about those? I mean, yeah, it's pretty justified if you get dumped for those things. Yeah, kind of understand that. So, what I have learned in my experience in the past, if you suspect that going on with your significant other, you know, that intuition is telling you that something is off and you're suspecting that, it's probably true, unfortunately. Yeah. So those 3 things, stealing, lying, and cheating, yeah, don't do that. Those are what not to do in a relationship. So yeah. And also, you want to watch that one friend of theirs who seems to hang around them a lot, you know, and here you go, all trusting and gullible and all that shit. So yeah, if there's that one friend they tell you about that you never have to worry about, you probably have to worry about them, because they'll probably end up marrying them less than a year later after dumping you. Just saying. Hashtag vulturing. But anyway, moving right along. So with those 3 particular rules, according to Psychology Today, I am going to basically sum those up as late great comedian George Carlin would say when he summed up the 10 Commandments. I mean, I was a fan of his. I used to listen to the George Carlin radio station on Sirius Radio. This is how he summed up the 10 Commandments, especially when it came to those particular things. He said, and I quote, the moral of the story, basically, don't be an asshole.
Probably slow dancing with a bleach blonde tramp, and she's probably getting thirsty. Right now, he's probably buying her some fruity little drink, 'cause she can't shoot whiskey. Right now, he's probably up behind her with a pool stick, showing her how to shoot a combo. And he don't know. song, a white trash version of Shania karaoke. Right now, she's probably saying I'm drunk, and he's thinking that he's gonna get lucky. Right now, he's probably dabbing on $3 worth of that bathroom polo. Oh, and he don't know that I dug my key into the side of his pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive, carved my name into his leather seat. I took a Louis little slug with them both headlights, slashed a hole in all four tires. Maybe next time I'll think before he cheats. I might have saved a little trouble for the next girl, 'cause the next time that he cheats, oh, you know it won't be on me. No, not on me. I dug my key into the side of his pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive, carved my name into his leather sheets. I took a Louis little slug with them both headlights, slashed a hole in all four tires. And maybe next time I'll think before he cheats. Oh, maybe next time I'll think before he
That was Carrie Underwood with Before He Cheats. American singer, songwriter, actress, enormous vocal talent, telling it like it is. Girlfriend got her own justice. Well, I don't know about the carving my name part and anything like that. I mean, you know, sure, as an artist, I like to sign my work, but I would say that's definitely a sure way to get busted. So, yeah, don't do that. I'm not condoning any tire slashing or whatever, but hey, it's a good song. It's pretty kick-ass, and the video, I think, is pretty awesome, too. Come on, let's face it, dude got what he deserved. All right, so yeah, instead of taking, doing that stuff, put it in your artistic outlets, like she did. Art, music, your radio show. I got the power. That's right, people. So, yes. And on to our next song. Now, I want to say, just like I've said before on the show, the music that I play, that I intend to play on the show is 99.5% female musician based. And today, I actually decided to do my the half percent of the one single for the month male performer that I decided to use tonight. I figured I cannot do an episode on breakups without including this song. Again, to me, it shows the power of music, and I'm not going to lie, I have played this many times in my truck, listening to it to, get over relationships, and it's been very cathartic, and I just like saying that word, cathartic. I think it's a good word. It's one of my favorite words. So I believe this is one of those songs. It does contain some adult language. I'm just going to put it out there for any of you with virgin ears, cover them up. And to get into that, speaking of adult language, and I'm not talking about ridiculously, profusely spewing out profanity just for the hell of it, left and right. That's not what I'm talking about. Here and there. It's not going to kill anybody. I mean, it's just kind of, sometimes you need to do that. And I'm going to totally justify this argument by briefly mentioning some studies that have actually been done on cursing that show that the relationship between profanity and intelligence have been done. People who swear more apparently are happier, healthier, and are more honest. How about that? Who would have thunk it? Shit, I could have told them that. And this has been published in the New York Times and Huffington Post and things like that. So on that note, here we go. There's CeeLo. That was CeeLo Green with the FU song. Yes, the Vaffanculo song. That's that in Italiano. I hope I said it correctly. So yeah, that was American singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, actor. And a lot of you may be aware of the fact that he has had his share of controversies and some legal troubles. Probably a good example of what not to do in a relationship Yeah, just saying. But quite honestly, I do find that song quite cathartic after a breakup. Just saying. It is what it is. It's, I would say it's definitely much better than the tire slashing and carving your name and whatever. So, all right. So next up, I am going to read, let's see, number 1 on the Psychology Today list. Number 1 they put as, I don't know if they put like from the most mildest to worst to, whatever. But number 1, they would say bad behaviors. And it says maybe when you're young, it was cool to be bad. As an adult, especially if you have family, those old behaviors, whatever they may be, like some vices, and spending your children's college tuition on Botox or fantasy football should probably stop at some point. If you can't do it on your own, your next step is rehab. Start now, and by next year, you may be a new person. And also, number 3 on their list is misdirected anger. How many times have you had a lousy day at work and come home in a bad mood? Guess what? That isn't fair, and it's going to damage your relationship. Coming home and bringing a bunch of negative energy inside with you can only make things ugly. You can get the soothing you need and have a good mood change in a few moments by just asking for a hug, aw, and saying, honey, I've had a rotten day. Now, next on my list of songs here, I like to call her the queen of breakup songs. I mean, this lady's an expert on this. I could not have a playlist without including her. And just a little personal story tidbit. This was some years ago. We were doing a secular song series at my church, and this particular song they had me singing at church, and I had just gone through a breakup, before, like not too long before that. So when I sang this particular song, I mean, this is during rehearsal. Some people know about this. I was belting out this song so hard that apparently the red light was going off in the speakers or some part of the equipment. And I was told by the director, like hold it back, just hold back a little bit, because he thought there was going to be like a speaker blowout or something. But hey, it goes to show sometimes when you're going through that, I mean, I was feeling it, that time, and when I actually sang it during the time of the service. So anyway, this is coming from English singer and songwriter Adele Laurie Blue Atkins. I'm glad she just goes by one name. This is Adele, Rolling in the Deep.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your ship bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. The scars of your love remind me of us, they keep
was Adele. Rolling in the Deep with Adele. There you go. Now, moving on. I know I'm all over the place with this list. I'm not going in order at all. The next one would be number 4, being unsupportive, especially when either one of you are going through some big traumatic experience, I would say. But number 4, being unsupportive. You cannot support the one you love when he or she is down or stressed because of some life event. You are communicating that it's not worth your time and energy. This makes your loved one feel invalid. If you can't be there for your other half and don't care to change, it's time to leave. If you want to keep your relationship, learn to be supportive. And number 6, withholding affection and attention. When you're not affectionate with the person who loves you, he or she is eventually going to stop asking for affection. After being turned down enough times, we become too embarrassed to ask. I'm not talking about sex. I mean, it could be that too. Just attention, like hand-holding and cuddling on the couch. If you'd like more intimacy in your relationship, this is the place to start. Slowly and sweetly. Yes, there you go. And now, for our next artist, this song, to me, is about appreciating the one that you care about. You know, I mean, I feel like a lot of times the traits that attract people to you, and, you know, vice versa, sometimes after a little while, they become the things that they actually want to change about you. And it's not so cute anymore. And that's the thing. Like, people go into relationships trying to change each other. Oh, I can fix him. I can fix her. I can save this person. No. I mean, we need to do that with ourselves first and let them do their own fixing. But, so there's that rant about that. And this song is about appreciating somebody, especially when somebody else didn't do it and somebody else comes along and appreciates that person. And there you go.
He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? He was a punk, she did ballet. What more can I say? He wanted her, she'd never tell. Secretly she wanted him as well. And all of her friends stuck up their nose, and they had a problem with his baggy clothes. He was a skater boy, she said see you later boy. He wasn't good enough for her. She had a pretty face, but her head was off his face. She needed to come back down to earth. 5 years from now, she sits at home, feeding the baby, she's all alone. She turns on TV, guess who she sees? Cedar boy rocking a
was Avril Lavigne with Skater Boy. There you go. Nice little story there. Now, this is Canadian singer, songwriter, actress. Very impressive, actually. 15 years old. She was already on stage performing with superstar, country star Shania Twain. At 16, she signed a contract with Arista Records for more than $2 million. 16 years old. Like, wow. All right. So next up, we are on number 5 on the Psychology Today list on why breakups happen. Wah, wah, wah. Number 5, toxic people. If you have friends that your partner can't stand, it can be one of two things. Either there's a control issue involved here, or these individuals are negative and should not be in your lives. If it's a control issue on one or both your parts, you should see a counselor together. Yes, couple counseling is good when both of you are willing to do so. If your friends, quote friends, engage in bad behaviors or are disrespectful to your mate, you need to find some new people to hang out with. Basically, of course, when it comes to the whole toxic people thing, I'm usually, in my track record, and as much as I hate to admit it, I have been the dumpy. I've only had to do the whole dumper thing once, but sometimes you need to do that. Like if you feel it's, at least at the time, toxic for you, somehow, an unhealthy situation for you in any way, then, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But, well, there you go about toxic people. Next up, we have who I call Adele the queen of breakup songs. Now, there's the other one that I call the princess of breakup songs. And it didn't feel right not including her in this too. Now, this is the American singer, songwriter, superstar, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and I have a complicated relationship. Now, I'm not really like a big fan of her music. I mean, nothing wrong with her. I mean, she seems like very sweet girl, very lovely. Just not a big fan of her music. But I have to say, I do respect. She knows how to use her creative outlet to the max. I mean, she puts it out there, and there's everybody heals in their own way, and you got to give the girl credit. You got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, if anything, this girl turns her heartbreak into $1 million hit songs. So, hey, it works for her. So here we go, ladies. Sometimes, after you go through all the emotions, after a while, then you just gotta shake it off.
I say I'm too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say. But I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind singing it's gonna be alright. 'Cause the player's gonna play. And the haters gonna hate. Baby, I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off, shake it off. Breakers gonna break. And the baby's gonna bake. Baby, I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. I never miss a beat. I'm lightning on my feet. And that's what they don't see. That's what they don't see. I'm dancing on my own. I'll make the moves look as I go. Shake, shake. Yeah. 'Cause the players wanna play, 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 play. And the haters wanna hate, 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 hate. I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. I shake it out, I shake it out. It's gonna break, 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 break. And the haters gonna bake, 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 bake. I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. I shake it out, I shake it out. Shake it out, I shake it out.
That was Taylor Swift. Shake it off, ladies. Yep. Just gotta get back up, dust yourself off, shake it off, and keep on moving. That's right. Okay, so the last one on the list for this article in Psychology Today on why breakups happen. The last one, number 9, giving up. It's the couples that do the hard work and face the challenges that withstand the test of time. Giving up is not the same as giving in, which is a process that needs to be considered when you are at odds with one another. Relationships are all about compromise. Remember, too, that you can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. So sometimes you have to weigh out those pros and cons, So that's it for that list. I thought that was very insightful, enlightening. Psychology Today, it was top 10 reasons for relationship breakups. So there you go, ladies. Do not stress the could haves. If it should have, then it would have. Cry, forgive, learn, move on. Let your tears water the seeds of your future happiness, because you will survive. I will survive. We all will survive. Turn it up, ladies. Turn it up.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known
That was Gloria Gaynor with a big breakup anthem from back in the day that's still kicking today. One of the top 10 karaoke songs of all time. Trust me, I don't know how many times I've heard this. And it's usually when one of us has gone through some breakup. It's guaranteed you will hear this at your local bar with people singing it at karaoke. Yeah, it is what it is. Again, it's very cathartic. Cathartic. God, I love that word. All right, ladies, I hope, and gentlemen, those of you listening out there, I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to tune in next week when Women in Art. That's going to be the episode. We discuss women in art. And I will have my very, very first special guest on the X Chromozone radio show. It's going to be my first guest. I'm very excited. We're going to talk to Anne Elizabeth Schlegel, local right here, Lehigh Valley, like I said, master oil painter artist, right here in the studio at the Cedar Crest College radio station. It's going to be a great episode. So until then, you all have a fabulous week. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and you have a good night.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna keep me down again. Whoa, yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom for the pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gain. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am one. You can bend but never break me, 'cause it only serves to make